Hello everybody, Killer Winston here, and today I will be doing with Deku has bonus power, part 30. So in the last part, class 1A was just introduced to the big three. Now continuing the story, after the battle between Deku and Mirio, Aizawa would have informed Class 1A that they would be having their work studies. With Deku, he would go up to Mirio and ask him if he could go to Sir Naai's agency for his work studies, which Sir Naai would allow since Deku did help him to persuade All Might to give Mirio One for All, as Deku would be assigned to go patrol around the city with Mirio. Him doing so, and after like about 20 minutes, they would be talking to each other when a girl would bump into Deku. Deku being confused since that girl did just came out of an alleyway, as Overhaul would walk out of the alleyway as well. Him saying that the heroes should give him back his daughter. With Deku seeing that Eri's face is filled with fear, he will remember the time he was abused, as he whispers to Mirio's ear and telling him that he should call Sir Naai and tell him about the situation, which Mirio does. Him knowing that Deku can take care of himself, he would basically give an excuse as he would walk to the side about 5 meters away and call Sir Naai. Whenever Mirio walked to the side, Deku would say, "Sure, but before I do that, can you tell me what you did to this poor little girl?" "It's none of your damn business, hero. Now give her back." As Deku would just bring up his hand in front of Overhaul, and moving his index finger to the left and to the right, him saying, wrong answer. I'll ask you one more time. What are you doing to this little girl?" With Overhaul getting a bit annoyed, as Deku would continue saying, "Also, what's with that beak you're wearing? Today's not Halloween. With Deku using his fingers, he would start to poke at Overhaul's mask. Overhaul being very, very annoyed, he would grab Deku's hand and say, "Don't touch me, hero." "Oh, what are you going to do? Kill me?" As Deku's entire upper body would explode, with Overhaul threatening Eri that if she doesn't go back to the hideout with him, he is going to destroy the entire city. Her, of course, complying. And over with Mirio, he just finished talking to Sir Naai, as he would hear something exploding. Him looking back to see that Deku's entire upper body is completely gone. And whenever he did, he would immediately rush for Deku. Him seeing that Deku is immediately regenerating his entire upper body within seconds. Mirio being surprised to see that Deku regenerates that fast, he would ask if Deku is alright or not, which Deku would just say, "Of course I am, it's just a scratch, but that girl isn't." What do you mean?" "Judging by how she looks and reacts, I think that she is either abused or tortured." "What? How did you even know that?" "Trust me, I know a lot of things that you don't, including being abused. But that is a story for another day. For now, let's just report to Sir Naai." Them going back to Sir Naai's agency, and over with Bakugo, he would have went to Fat Gum's agency. Him, Fat Gum, Kirishima, and Tamaki would have been patrolling just as usual. As that was when a fight would suddenly break out between two groups of, well, thugs, with Bakugo and the others having to go in and stop them. But before they did, Vagum would have told Bakugo to stay out of this, since his quirk is explosions, and it might hurt the civilians around them, which Bakugo would just tell Vagum to not worry, him also telling Vagum that he has everything under control. Vagum being a bit confused, as Bakugo would have rushed in, him creating small explosions to propel himself faster towards the thugs, with Kirishima and Tamaki also running in to help as well, them having to defeat all of the thugs fairly easily. But that was when one of the thugs would have fired a bullet straight towards Tamaki, which would have hit Tamaki. Bakugo seeing that, he would immediately get angry and fire a pea shot towards that thug, which would have knocked the gun away from the thug's hand. And when Bakugo did that, Kirishima would have ran in and used one of his super move, which I believe is called Red Gauntlet, him punching the thug across the face and knocking him out. And while that was happening, Tamaki would have found out that he can't use his quirk after being hit by that bullet. And after taking down the thugs, they would start to get swarmed by their fans. But that was when Bakugo would have saw a gun inside the crowd, with the man holding the gun pointing it at Kirishima and firing. Bakugo seeing that, he would immediately push Kirishima out of the way, as the bullet would have hit Bakugo in the arm. Him looking straight at the man who just shot him, Bakugo would have ran towards the man, him yelling for that guy to, die, which the guy would be intimidated by, as he would also start to run away, with Bakugo chasing after him. And while Bakugo was chasing after the man, he would have looked down at the place where he got shot, him seeing that the bullet was the same as the one that Tamaki got shot by, him being very, very pissed off, but that was when he would have had a smirk on his face, him gaining up on the man faster and faster. Also, whenever Bakugo was shot, Kirishima, after being pushed out of the way, he would have saw Bakugo running for a man, shouting for that man to die. Kirishima, thinking that Bakugo is chasing after a villain or a thug, he would have told Phantom that he is going after Bakugo, as he runs off to follow Bakugo. And speaking of Bakugo, he would have cornered the man, since that man kind of ran into a dead end. The man turning around thinking that Bakugo didn't catch up to him yet, but whenever he turned around, he would have saw Bakugo's face right in front of him, as he would get punched in the face by Bakugo, him stumbling back with Bakugo kicking him in the face and clinching onto the man, him also kneeing the man in the stomach, this leaving the man on the ground, as Bakugo would have stepped onto the man saying, "Too bad, villain, you shot the wrong guy, and now say goodbye to your freedom, because you are going to jail." But right when Bakugo said that, the man would immediately inject something into himself, as blades would shoot out of the man's entire body, with Bakugo jumping back, him being confused, as the man would have got back up, him shooting his blades in every direction, with Bakugo knowing that there are civilians around them. He would immediately turn back and try to save everyone. Him doing so, barely, with the man yelling, "No, I will not go to jail, and you can't do anything about it, hero. You can't even use your quirk." Him blasting a wave of, well, blades towards Bakugo, but Bakugo would have just smirked, him saying, "That's where you're wrong, villain." Him putting his hand in front of himself as he blasts a giant explosion towards the wave of blades, it engulfing the blades and breaking them, this shocking the man as Bakugo would be right in front of the man, him slamming an explosion into the man's stomach, with the man being blasted back into a wall and bouncing off of it, him falling onto the ground as Bakugo would say, "Oh, I can use my quirk. You're just so pathetic I don't even need to use it to defeat you. But since you did use that drug, I guess I'll just have to use it then." With the man saying, "How? I hit you with the special bullet. How can you still use your quirk?" "Oh, are you sure you did? Because you shot my gauntlet instead of my arm. So you missed, and now you die." As Bakugo would have just knocked out the man with an explosion, and whenever he did that, Kirishima would have just arrived, him seeing Bakugo knock out the man. As after that, Bakugo and Kirishima would have took the man back to Fat Gum, Bakugo also taking the special bullet out of his gauntlet and giving it to Fat Gum. Now, this will be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. That would be amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!